Children of strict parents, what is the most ridiculous rule your parents gave you? Not being allowed to wear tie-dye, multi-colored clothes because it was representing the gays. My parents read an article in some stupid magazine that you cannot sit in front of the computer for longer than 45 minutes. So they set a rule that I cannot use the computer every hour from, say, 7:45 to 8 o'clock, every hour. Even if I turned it on at 7:35, I still had to leave the room, so they know I am not using the computer at 7:45. Holy shit, how did I survive? Curfew at 4 in high school, but also they wanted me to join all the clubs, which ended at 4. Got grounded a lot. Spanking was an acceptable punishment until I left for college. I'm 26 and my mom has threatened to spank me a couple times in the last year. No pants allowed. Good girls only wear dresses or skirts. I wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom by myself till I was teenagers. I wasn't allowed to talk to boys my age. But our creepy pastor could have as much one-on-one time with me as he wanted because Jesus. I had no privacy. My parents read through my phone whenever they wanted, which is acceptable to a point I guess. They were paying for it, looked through my laptop, and even went through my drawers and read any journal or diary that I had. If I got in any trouble they took my bedroom door. I didn't have a bedroom door from the time I was 15 until I moved out at 18. My boyfriend's parents didn't allow us to be alone together in a house for a couple years into our relationship. We were adults and they had this rule. However, we were both away from college so they didn't have full control. So what did they do? They tracked my boyfriend's phone at night and thus they'd catch him for spending the night at my dorm. That didn't go over too well. So he started leaving his phone at his dorm at night. I wasn't allowed to cross the street without an adult until I was 15. If I was going to hang out with friends, my mom would call their parents to make sure that we wouldn't be walking anywhere, so that I wouldn't be crossing streets. At the time I thought it was weird but cute that she worried for me so much. Now it's just incomprehensible to me. I bought my first car with my own money at 17, and I wasn't allowed to drive it to school, or work, or anywhere even though I had had my driver's license for a full year prior. My mom would drive me, in my own car places. It was pretty embarrassing and absolutely stupid. I was allowed to choose 2 people to be friends with at the beginning of the school year. If I ever mentioned interacting with anyone other than those 2, I'd get a lecture about friends. My dad didn't really care at first, but then from 17 to 19-ish, anything other than becoming a doctor would mean I was gonna end up in prison and get raped. Dad, can you take me to the store to get a new computer? Keep playing with computers and one day you'll be getting raped in prison. Can we get ice cream? Why do you need ice cream? I like ice cream. Keep doing what you like and you'll get raped in prison. All children of strict parents know this. You should socialize more, you are always in your room on your computer. Can I go out with friends then? No. Although not the strictest rule by far, the one that affected me the most socially was not being allowed a TV or media until 16/17, and even then it was very basic cable and Disney Channel. I was fascinated by Good Luck Charlie at 18 because it was the first show I'd ever watched. This really affected my relationships and estranged me from the other kids. At 23 I'm still learning about basic A-list celebrities and movies like Godfather and Titanic. The entire entertainment industry feels like Pandora's box. My mom once yelled at me in the car, in front of my friends, for not wanting to use a blanket when I slept at night. It was summer. She said I had to because it was her job as a mother to raise me to be civilized. We were allowed to have diaries, but we had to let our parents read them if they asked. As a result, we did not keep diaries. Because they would always ask to read them. I kept a false diary full of boring shit. They also have a very selective view of privacy. Locking doors meant we were up to no good, and they would routinely barge into us in places like the bathroom. When we told them to get out, they could not understand why we were upset. FTR, mine and my sister's bathroom does not have a lock on it. They also would selectively enforce the rules. Telling was when they were doing something bad or malicious. Tattling was when you told to get them in trouble. Naturally, my sister would do something mean to me, i.e., made an opening night play with very mean things being said about me, and when I told them, I got in trouble for tattling, but when I wrote in my diary the mean things my sister said, she read it and told, it was telling because writing those things is very mean, crazy. We weren't allowed to watch any new cartoons because they had a vulgar art style because it would supposedly corrupt our brains. I don't know too many examples because I couldn't really watch them. Also, any show with a couple dating or anybody having a boyfriend or girlfriend was a no-no probably, so we didn't get the idea to wanna date someone at school. We were basically stuck watching Nick Jr., the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons on Boomerang, Rip, and a few Disney sitcoms like Good Luck Charlie. No Pokemon because it teaches evolution and because the Pokemon are supposed to be metaphorical demons. The same went for Skylanders. Oh, you have money? You wanna buy something? Well, you can't, because it's like 5 months before Christmas and you'll be getting stuff then. Wouldn't wanna spoil those presents, do you? No going outside unless given permission, for my own yard. No eating anything unless given permission. No watching WWE because it does not depict real wrestling. No cutting hair above chin because it looks gay. No dyeing hair unnatural colors because it looks gay. For me specifically, no dyeing hair at all because I have red hair and your hair is rare, so don't ruin it. She didn't let me hang out or associate with anyone who I went to school with. Only people from church who I didn't get along with. My father had a strict rule of no girlfriends until you're 18. Annoying because I was a teen, like, I was still going to go like people and his barely present self wasn't going to stop me. Dunno what his problem was with that. If you're not puking or bleeding, there's nothing wrong with you and I don't want to hear about it. Not allowed to wear pants or shorts, only skirts. Not allowed to go out when the sun is up. Not allowed to wear black. Not allowed to cut my hair. I wasn't allowed to sit on my bed. It would crease the covers. I was supposed to make my friends sit on the mattress after I'd pulled the covers back, but kids are dirty, so I just let them crease my covers and took the aftermath of shouting after they'd left. We had a paid trip to Disneyland with the band, but we weren't allowed to go because Disney supports homosexuality. We couldn't drink out of bottles with a spigot thing coming out of the bottle because it could set us up for later. I couldn't go to the football dinners every Thursday before the game because there were girls there. I invited a girl to church and was told to make up an excuse why we couldn't get her. The idea was that I would be thinking about the girl more than God. We weren't allowed to have sugar because apparently we went brain dead after we ate it. Girls couldn't bring in wood for the wood stove because it could hurt their baby makers. Fart was a swear. Watching some film with my parents in the living room, my mom held potato chips over my eyes to stop me from seeing boobies. I was 13. I was also, not interested. My then father physically pushed me around because I left wet cutlery to dry next to the sink instead of drying it with a towel. Later on he started labeling the milk cartons in the fridge to enforce a quota system. Edit. Oh, and don't even get me started about the car. God forbid dropping a chip on the floor during a road trip or something. Still, I guess there was a bright side to the car tidiness paranoia. Every month I got to vacuum every crevice in the car and polish it all up, and then I was paid one whole shiny Canadian dollar. If I said a word too much, and it started to annoy my mom, she would consider it a curse word. If I said it, I'd be punished as if I'd said one too. I remember I picked up the word nasty from Watch That's So Raven, particularly hard to not say that one. We were not allowed to speak in the car, at the dinner table, or anywhere near her really. I wasn't allowed to swallow too loud, but because I couldn't learn how to not swallow without sound, I just never drank around her. 80s in school projects were not allowed. She never praised me, only told me I could do better. I remember crying when I got a high 80 in my world history class in 8th grade. It had been the highest in the class. But what really takes the cake for this one is in elementary school. I was up for getting an award at school, but the longer the award ceremony went on, the more irritated I saw my mom get. I remember thinking I was going to get into so much trouble because she was here, but I wasn't getting an award. I was so relieved when I was finally called up that I didn't even care that I got the fucking gold presidential award. I have a lot more stories like this. My mom really messed me up. Thanks for watching. What would be your response? Leave it in the comments and see what the others say. Please also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.